Hi, welcome to Accounting 101. My name is Jerry McCabe. I'll be teaching this course. This is a 100% online class, so a lot of my communication with you will be through these kind of videos. But certainly, if you're having any kind of an issue, you have a question, you can reach out to me with the email, and I'll try and get back to you. Generally, trying to get back to you within 24 hours. Okay. So one of the things I'd like to start off by pointing out is that accounting is not math. Okay, this is not a math class. Accounting is more about classifying and sorting transactions and uh, putting information together. For example, let's say that I'm a landscaper. Okay, um, I cut your grass, $50. Okay, one of the things I have to keep track of is whether or not you paid me. Did you pay me yet, or do you still owe me? The other thing I have to keep track of is how much have I made so far this year cutting grass, because I'm paying help and I'm buying gas and I'm paying for a truck, and am I actually making a profit? So I'm trying to keep track of certain things. I write, I pay my help at the end of the week. I write a check. I have to keep track of my checkbook. I also have to keep track of how much have I paid my help, because again, I'm trying to figure out whether or not I made a profit, right? So I need to know how much I made by billing for cutting grass, how much came in, and how much did I pay out for my help. So I'm keeping track of different things. Each of the things I'm keeping track of is essentially a bucket of information. Each of those buckets is called an account. The accounts fall into certain categories, and we'll get into all that. Okay. Yes, at the end of the day, I do add up the numbers in the account. I use a calculator. It's second grade arithmetic. Okay, this is not a math class. Don't get all freaked out about the math. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my background first. This is the syllabus, so I'm looking at a copy of the syllabus right now. And I just want to point out my entire college education was obtained attending night school while working full time. So I have an associate's degree. I went to Rockland Community College in New York State. Then I got my bachelor's degree from Dominican College, which was a 4-year commuter school. And then when I moved to New England, I went to Bryant University and got my master's degree again at night while working full time. Okay. Now, something that you're more interested in is the grading. So let's talk about the grading here a little bit. I'm going to scoot down. Here we go. So there's a bunch of chapter quizzes. At the end of every chapter, there's a small quiz. The idea is to hit the high points. The idea is to give you familiar with how I'm testing and to give you lots of opportunities to score points. So there'll be chapter quizzes. They're multiple choice, 10 points, 10 questions, 10 points type of thing. And they make up 20% of your grade. All of them together will make up 20% of your grade, and you get to drop your worst performance. So your lowest quiz grade gets dropped. Then the midterm will cover the first 4 chapters, and it will probably be 20 to 25 multiple choice questions, and it's worth 20 points, 20% of your grade. The final at the very end will cover, I think it will probably be everything from the beginning, but again, all of this stuff is open book, open note, and so we'll see how it goes with that. That's worth 20 points. So that all adds up to 60 points. The other 40 points is what I like to call effort points, okay? So there are lab assignments, and that's 10 points. There's homework, and that's 20 points. There's discussion boards, and that's 10 more points. So 40% of your grade has to do with stuff that's not how well you can do on a test, okay? The homework is 20 points. A lot of people don't like to do homework. It's very important that you do the homework, that you work with Pearson and you do the homework and stuff. And the people that do it and that work at it will find that if you get something wrong, it gives you an opportunity to go back and to do it again, and it gives you an opportunity to get a hint. And you can score well on the homework if you're willing to put in time on the homework. Guess what? People who do good on the homework do good on the tests. It's a coincidence. I've never figured it out. Anyway, so that's 20 points. Don't throw it away. Do the homework and get the points. The discussion boards are essentially, I pose an accounting question. And I say, okay, post some intelligent comments out there. You put something out there, a few days later you go back, you read it, what other people said. It's important for two reasons, okay? First reason is when you read the other students' posts, they'll phrase it differently than I did. They'll talk about it differently than I did. And so therefore, or that the book did. So therefore, you can learn from them because they're like, you'll get an insight. I find that happens a lot, that students can communicate to students better than the instructor in some cases. So there's that opportunity, okay? You post, then you go back and you read, you post, then you're going to make some nice comments. And the second thing is that by using the discussion board, you're not all alone in the class. You're not taking a correspondence class, okay? We're a group, so you'll get to kind of know something about the other students just from the posting and so on and so forth. And it'll make it a little more of a group thing, which I think is a good thing. The last thing is the labs, okay? This is a 4-credit course. The 4th credit is the lab component. A lot of instructors turn around and they post up some extra stuff at it. The Pearson textbook, and they just call that the lab. And I'm like, well, that's really just homework under another name. What I've done is I've put up some very basic, simple, easy to follow Excel problems, okay? If you've already used Excel, you know all about it, but a lot of people haven't. They get a little bit intimidated by Excel. Excel is a really important tool for a modern office worker. If you're an accountant, it's an essential tool, but even if you're not an accountant, you want to know how to use it. You want to know how to use it a little. You want to be able to stumble through it. And the more you use it, the less intimidated you are by it, okay? There's a lot of, buttons and icons all over the place, but the more you use it, the more you realize, well, I can ignore that, I can ignore that. And you know where to find the stuff you need to find, and then it's not intimidating. So the second reason for using Excel is that whatever I give you as an assignment has to be something you can upload. So by using an Excel file, you can download a blank, input your data, upload it back up, and then I can go and grade it. So in the early going, you will see that I will put videos with the labs to help walk you through it, so that if you have any kind of, some of you I know will have very little experience with Excel, so the videos are there to kind of help you go through it. I just want you to spend time at the keyboard with it, and you'll develop some confidence with it. And again, if you have huge problems with it, send me an email. I mean, I'm not going to not do it, but it'll at least if you're having issues, I'll try and respond and help you with it, okay? I want to just talk briefly about the structure of the website, okay? So here we go. You go into the home page for our thing, and there'll be folders set up for every week. And in those folders, it will tell you, say, so here we go. This is what you need to do in week 2. Finish reading the first chapter. Finish watching the videos. Do the homework, the second homework for chapter 1, okay? There's going to be a video introduction to Excel, which will be in this folder, okay? Do the lab and comment on other people's posts and take the quiz, and then there's different things. So it's kind of all contained in that folder. So you go in there and you say, okay, all the stuff for the publisher, you will access it through the Bristol site, but that's all separate. That's all off on the publisher site, and then everything else is going to be in those little folders. And so you get to week 2, you open the week 2 thing. What you need is there. Okay, what's not there is the stuff that's on the Pearson site. So, so basically, the first chapter in this is going to talk about just the business environment. Chapter 2 will get into some debits and credits and things like that. And the first 4 chapters build on each other. They talk about the mechanics of accounting, how it works, okay? And then we have a midterm. After that, we'll have a chapter that talks about the difference between a store that sells stuff versus a landscaper that sells a service. Okay. We'll talk about the cash account and how to safeguard your cash account, how to balance the checkbook. In the last two chapters one is about accounts receivable, when people owe you money, and one is about current liabilities, which is about when you owe other people money. So we'll talk about those real briefly. This is an intro course. It's a required business course, so we're not going to get crazy down in the weeds, with the accounting. But for those people who are going to continue in accounting, they have to know the basics. So we're walking a fine line here. We're trying to get it so that it works okay for everybody involved. Okay. I've run 10 minutes on this video, a little over 10 minutes, and that's long enough, I think, for your attention span. So congratulations, welcome, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.